So, having known about the alkanes and their properties, reactions and the reaction mechanism in detail, let us now look on how to take up the substituted alkane for similar discussion. As a representative of this compound, the alkyl halide can prove highly useful in setting the pattern of properties, reactions, and the reaction mechanism of many of an organic functional groups such as alcohol, ether, amine, and cyanide. Okay. Now, before taking into the consideration about any organic class, uh, one must one must know. Just a minute. So, what I'm saying that before going into the consideration of any organic class, um, we must know first what exactly it has to offer in a chemical reaction. Say, for example, if this is an alkyl halide, the generalized structure of alkyl halide is this one, Rx, and due to this Rx is the generalized structure of this alkyl halide as we are studying about the alkyl halide. So, what exactly this alkyl halide has to offer in any chemical reaction, that we must know exactly. So, being saturated and a typical chemical reaction of alkyl halide are essentially a substitution reaction. अब वो essentially substitution reaction है क्यों है that we have to see like the alkane alkyl halide also consider as far as their reaction are concerned a saturated molecule. So this alkyl halide also a saturated molecule. So that's why they always undergo the substitution reaction. And being a saturated, the typical chemical reaction of alkyl halides are essentially the substitution reaction, although they can also undergo the elimination reaction to produce an alkene. So, not necessarily the alkyl halide is undergoing a substitution reaction, it also undergo the elimination reaction. That elimination reaction of alkyl halide results in the formation of alkene. That we will see in our next chapter. uh, how the alkyl halide undergo the elimination reaction rather than the substitution reaction. Ideally, being a saturated compound, alkyl halide are a saturated compound, so they supposed to undergo a substitution reaction. While in the substitution reaction, alkane, in case of alkane, in the substitution reaction of the alkane, CH bond was the focus of attention. So, in earlier chapter, we have studied about the alkane. Alkane contains 4 CH bond. Now, these 4 CH bond is our target for carrying out any reaction. That means the CH bond was the focus of attention. In alkyl halide, it is going to be the CX bond at the focus of attention. Now, in case of alkyl halide, our focus of attention to carry out any reaction is nothing but the CX bond, the bond between the carbon and the halide. That bond is our focus of attraction. To break the non-polar CH bond, we could use an energetic free radical generated by using the thermal or the light energy. So that we have seen, uh, to break the non-polar CH bond. That CH bond is a non-polar bond, and to break that CH bond, we could use an free energetic radical generated by using the thermal or the light energy. But in polar CX bond, there already exists an uneven distribution of the electrons, and the resultant partial charge could be exploited for the purpose of chemical reaction. Now, in case of uh, alkyl halide, three bonds are nonpolar, and the one bond between the carbon and the halide is a polar bond, and because of this polar bond there is an uneven distribution of the electrons which occurs. Okay, now because of this uneven distribution of the electrons, the halide possesses a partial negative charge and the carbon bears a partial positive charge. Because the halide is elect electronegative in nature, that means it has a tendency to pull the electron towards itself. So, because of this electronegativity tendency of the halides, halide pulls the sharing of electrons between the carbon and hydrogen towards himself. So, halide pulls the electron towards itself. Then, uh, because of this, the electrons are attracted towards the halide. The halide bears a partial negative charge, and the electrons are far away from the carbon. That's why this carbon possesses a partial positive charge, and this partial positive and the partial negative charge is our focus of attraction for carrying out the reactions of alkyl halide. Owing to the electronegativity of the halogen atom, every CH bond has a partial negative charge on the halogen uh, and partial positive charge on on the carbon. The carbon thus is in a need of electron rich species so as to get rid of electron demanding halogen. So the carbon becomes fed up with the electron demanding nature of the halide. So the carbon requires the electron rich species, and that electron rich species is nothing but the nucleophile. Nucleophile are species having the attraction for the positive charge. Nucleophile is such a chemical species that having the attraction for the positive charge. That means its nucleus is positive and which can easily generated from the ionic or the polar molecule, and which can be easily generated from the ionic or the polar molecule. Thus, can replace the halogen, so that it can be easily replace the halogen and bringing out the substitution reaction. The reagent species, that is nucleophile, is easily obtainable. So the reaction condition for the nucleophilic reaction need not be as vigorous as required for the free radical reaction. So these nucleophile are easily obtained in the laboratory conditions. So this nucleophile is easily easily obtainable. So the reaction condition for the nucleophilic reaction need not to be as vigorous as it is obtained in the halogenation of alkane. That means that is high temperature and the UV light you have to use to bring out the halogenation of alkane. So the generalized reactions of alkyl halide is Rx plus nucleophile that gives rise to the R plus nucleophile plus halide ion separately. So this is the generalized reaction of this alkyl halide. In the above reaction, Rx is designated as a substrate. So Rx is nothing but the Rx is what? Rx is designated as a substrate. What is substrate then? The substrate is any organic compound that undergo the chemical transformation. So this is the definition of the substrate. Any organic compound, say this is a substrate, and this substrate is what? Substrate is a organic compound. This one is a organic compound that undergo the chemical transformation. That means complete organic class of this starting compound is changed. Before going into the reaction, it is an alkyl halide. The class of this substrate is what? The class of this substrate is alkyl halide. And after going into the chemical transformation, the class of this alkyl halide is changed. Say if we use the nucleophile is OH, then it becomes an alcohol or OH. So the substrate is such an organic compound that undergo the complete chemical transformation. Now, from that reaction, you can understand alkyl halide is completely converted into the alcohol. That means the class of starting compound is completely changed. So such compound are called as the substrate. Reagent is nucleophile. Now, what is reagent then? Reagent is nothing but this nucleophile is a reagent. Uh, Nucleophile in case of organic chemistry is always a inorganic compound. Is always inorganic compound. So reagent is nothing but any inorganic compound that brings out chemical transformation. That brings out the chemical transformation. Now this nucleophile, this OH here in this case, the hydroxyl group brings out the chemical transformation of the starting compound. So such compound are called as reagent. So any inorganic compound that brings out chemical transformation is known as the reagent. And substrate is what? Substrate is any organic compound that undergoing a complete chemical transformation. And X is nothing but the living group. Here X, that is Rx, is nothing but the here X is nothing but the living group. Uh, and as nucleophile can also cause a substitution in aromatic compound, a nucleophile also cause the substitution in aromatic compound. You know the aromatic compound, the lowest member of this aromatic compound family is nothing but the benzene. So the reaction is called as nucleophilic aromatic substitution. Whenever the nucleophile cause the substitution in the aromatic compound, the reaction is called as nucleophilic aromatic substitution reaction. So whenever the substitution occurs in aromatic compound, the reaction is called as nucleophilic aromatic substitution. And the substitution of if it is occur in aliphatic compound like Rx is a aliphatic one, so then this substitution is called as nucleophilic aromatic substitution reaction. We shall come back to the reactions of the alkyl halide after discussing the uh, nomenclatures, sources, and method of preparation and the properties. Uh, Now, if we move on to the nomenclature, so nomenclature, uh, the common names of the alkyl halide are derived from the alkyl groups holding the halogen atom. So, if methyl is holding the bromine, then uh, the common name of that particular methyl group is nothing but the methyl bromide. Like that, ethyl, N-propyl, isopropyl, neopentyl, etc. halides, you can say. The IUPAC nomenclature identifies them as the haloalkanes. So IUPAC name of that alkyl halide is nothing but a haloalkane. Say for example, methyl bromide is a common name, then the bromoethane is its IUPAC name. Now further, the class of carbon primary and secondary holding the halogen makes the haloalkane primary, secondary, and a tertiary alkyl halide. Okay. Now the preparation of alkyl halide. Alkyl halide required for the industrial combustion are obtained by halogenation of alkane. So the halogenation of alkane, we already studied about the halogenation of alkane in detail. So alkyl halide are generally obtained from halogenation of alkane. However, for the laboratory scale preparation, where an exclusive and not a mixture of the product is desirable, the commonest way to get them is from alcohol or alkenes. Now, from alcohol or from alkenes. Say, this is an alcohol. You know the structure of alcohol RaOH. Here I am unable to draw. Whenever this alcohol is reacted with a phosphorus pentachloride PCl5 or phosphorus pentachloride or phosphorus trichloride, it will result in the formation of alkyl halide. So this is the one reaction for method of preparation of alkyl halide, and the another one is from alkene. Say you know the generalized structure of alkene. This is an alkyl C double bond C. Any alkene, when this alkene is undergoing the electrophilic addition reaction. Electrophilic addition reaction means HCl. For example, HCl if we use as an electrophile, then this electrophilic addition reaction results in the formation of alkyl halide. Like this, carbon, double bond carbon, and here the Cl. And the rest will be the hydrogen here in this case. This rest are hydrogen. And this is Cl. Okay. So these are two methods of preparation. First is from alcohol. When the alcohol is treated with the phosphorus pentachloride or the phosphorus trichloride, result in the formation of alkyl halide. Say if ethanol is treated with the phosphorus pentachloride, it yielded a ethyl chloride. If ethanol C2H5OH, if it is treated with the phosphorus pentachloride, it will result in the formation of ethyl chloride. So this is in short about the method of preparation of alkyl halides. Now the in short we will see about the physical properties of alkyl halide. Presence of electronegative halogen. Presence of electronegative halogen renders alkyl halide relatively non-polar, which reflects in their melting and the boiling point as well as the solubility behavior. So in toto, the alkyl halides are non-polar in nature. As such, no issue. The alkyl halide possesses a one polar bond, still it is a non-polar in nature. They have higher melting point and the boiling point as compared to the corresponding hydrocarbon. So the alkyl halide has higher melting and the boiling point as compared to the corresponding hydrocarbon. Corresponding hydrocarbons means uh, the number of carbon are taken into the consideration. Say for example, methane. Methane is there, CH4, methane, and the corresponding alkyl halide is nothing but the CH3Cl or Br or Ci. So as compared to methane, the alkyl halide, that is methyl chloride, has higher melting point and the boiling point. Solubility in polar solvent is relatively more than the equisize hydrocarbons. Again, it is equisize hydrocarbon. This methane is soluble in non-polar solvent, but methyl chloride is soluble in polar solvent. So this is about the method of preparation, physical properties and the method of preparation. Now the reaction. As said earlier, alkyl halide undergo the nucleophilic aliphatic substitution, which serve as a representative reaction of many substituted alkane. So alkyl halide undergo the nucleophilic substitution reaction is a characteristic reaction of this alkyl halide, and again it is a representative reaction of many substituted alkane. As I told you earlier that alcohol, ether and the cyanide also undergo the nucleophilic substitution reaction. But the representative reaction for the nucleophilic substitution reaction is nothing but the reaction of alkyl halide. Again, the alkyl halide is also undergoing the elimination reaction that we will see in the next chapter. The nucleophile attacks on the substituents. What exactly happens in the reaction that we will see? The nucleophile attacks on the substituent bearing a carbon and replaces the substituent. So nucleophile will attack on the carbon that bearings a substituent, that is the leaving group. The substitution brought about by a nucleophile is hence designated as SN. Is hence designated as SN. So the substitution brought by a nucleophile. So the substitution brought by the nucleophile, that's why the reaction of alkane is designated as a SN reaction. In this reaction, a sigma bond between the carbon and the leaving group. A sigma bond between the carbon and the leaving group breaks, while another similar sigma bond between the carbon and nucleophile is formed. So, in previous chapter, I told you about the mechanism, and uh, in the mechanism of any organic reaction, first we have to see that the which bond is breaking and which bond is going to form. So and whether that bond breaking and the bond formation occur simultaneously or sequentially, that we have to see. So in that reaction, a sigma bond between the carbon and the leaving group breaks, while another similar sigma bond between the carbon and the nucleophile is formed. Based on the based on the chronology of breaking and the formation of this bond, there are two different mechanisms observed. So, based on the chronology of bond breaking and the bond formation of this bond, are there are two different mechanisms of observed when both the process occur simultaneously. That means the bond breaking and the bond formation occur simultaneously. It is a biomolecular mechanism. It is what it is then? It is a biomolecular mechanism and designated as SN2 mechanism However, when the bond breaking precede bond breaking precede bond formation, it is a unimolecular mechanism and it is designated as SN1. So whenever the breaking and the bond formation occur simultaneously, then it is called as SN2 reaction. And whenever the bond breaking observed first and then bond formation occurs, such reaction is called as unimolecular mechanism and is designated as a SN1 mechanism. Okay. Now, the mechanism of the chemical reaction have to be hypothesized on the basis of some experimental facts. Okay. So, a mechanism of chemical reaction have to be hypothesized. It is a hypothesis only on the basis of some experimental facts. These facts are observed and obtained through a numerous reaction carried out using a various type of substrate. Now, these facts, the scientists, scientists are collected or observed the facts on the basis of some experiment. So, for that, to obtain that facts, scientists has to carry out numerous reaction using various species. In our case, it is alkyl halide and varying reaction condition, especially the charges in concentration of the reactant and the nature of the nucleophile. So, nature of the nucleophile and the types of alkyl halide play an important role in deciding whether the particular alkyl halide undergoing the SN2 mechanism or SN1 mechanism. Nucleophiles nucleophiles are generally of two types: weak nucleophiles and strong nucleophiles. Weak nucleophile and strong nucleophile. The experiment revealed that with a stronger nucleophile, what experiment exactly revealed at the time of experimentation, the experiment revealed that with a stronger nucleophile, the speed of the reaction was proportional to the concentration of both the reactants. Whenever the scientist uses a strong nucleophile, they observed that the speed of the reaction was proportional to the concentration of both the reactants. Both the reactants are nothing but the substrate and the reagent. That is the alkyl halide and the nucleophile. While with the weaker nucleophile, if uh, the scientist uses a weaker nucleophile, then the rate of reaction was proportional to only the concentration of the alkyl halide. See, it is very clear. Whenever uh, one can use the strong nucleophile, the speed of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of alkyl halide and the nucleophile. And when uh, one use weak nucleophile, the speed of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of alkyl halide only. This dependence of the rate of reaction on the concentration of the reactants is studied under the heading known as kinetics. So this rate of reaction is generally studied under the heading kinetics of a given reaction. So the kinetics thus can said to be a primary evidence for the duality of mechanism exhibited by the alkyl halide. So kinetic is the main reason. Kinetics is the primary evidence rather for the duality of mechanism exhibited by the alkyl halide. Duality means that alkyl halide undergoing the alkyl halide in the reaction follow the SN1 mechanism and SN2 mechanism. So that duality of mechanism is exhibited by the alkyl halide. So kinetics is a most important part of any reaction. Another observed difference was the effect of strength of nucleophile on timing of attack. Strength. Uh, I told you two type of nucleophile are available with us. One is strong and another one is weak. Undoubtedly, both weak as well as the strong nucleophile have to attack on the carbon of the substrate. No issue. The nucleophile never bother about the leaving group. Uh, the nucleophile only attacks on the carbon that bears a delta positive charge. Okay, but the strong nucleophile having full-fledged nucleophile charge over its head. Uh, strong nucleophile possess a full-fledged charge OH जैसे on their head. uh, जैसे आप लोग लिखते होंगे OH minus like that. The full-fledged charge on its head is impatient and attack even the only partially charged carbon of alkyl halide. So the strong nucleophile possesses a full-fledged negative charge on its head. Its attacks on the partially charged carbon of alkyl halide. On the other hand, a weak nucleophile species waits until a fully charged. Weak nucleophile like water, sodium hydroxide and the potassium hydroxide, NaOH and the KOH are strong nucleophiles. Water and alcohol are weak nucleophiles. So water and alcohol are the examples of weak nucleophile, and the solution of sodium hydroxide and the solution of potassium hydroxide are the examples of strong nucleophile. So whenever a weak nucleophile species waits until the partially charged carbon atom becomes a fully positive charge. That means electron deficiency is available in the vicinity. So this is in short about the SN1 and SN2 mechanism. Now in our next lecture we will see